So you want to develop your emotional intelligence, and you'd like to find out how and if you're emotionally blocked and what you can do about it? Well, you've come to the right place. The good news is you've already begun your journey. The not so good news is there are no shortcuts and there's no easy way out. Be careful of anyone offering you this, because they're just tapping into your resistance. We're always looking for a shortcut. But there are no shortcuts in the awakening journey. And we all know the phrase, the way out is in. So, sorry to burst your bubble, you've got work to do. So let's look at the work and what it is we actually have to do to develop emotional intelligence, because what it is a byproduct of your healing and your awakening journey. It's not something you focus on. What you focus on is resolving unresolved traumas and the blocked emotions that are associated with them. So we need to become aware of our coping strategies, and we need to become aware of our automatic behavior, because these are the signposts that we've left behind to show us where we hid these hidden treasures. Because blocked emotions are a treasure that we buried, and we forgot where we buried it, and we forgot we even buried it in the first place. But there is that one clue left behind, which is our quick, automated, programmed response to situations. Not a response, it's a reaction that we developed to survive our circumstances as children. So the next time somebody's yelling at you, stop defending yourself, because that's your ego protecting the story that you're right, you're good, you're correct. Let them yell and let your body react and observe your body. And you'll be so busy observing your body and these inner feelings, these inner earthquakes, as I like to call them, that you won't be retaliating, you won't be fueling the fire. And instead of living a reactive life to angry people, you now see their role in your awakening journey, which is to trigger these buried treasures in you so that you may have the opportunity to tune into them once more. As they say, there are no mistakes in this universe, as difficult as that can be to imagine at times. So all of these people in your life are messengers to your unwanted emotions. And you're attracting them magnetically, law of attraction, law of mirroring, whatever you want to call it, so that you can see yourself. But your ego, your narrative, your personal stories, your personal narrative, your identity fixates on a certain image, which keeps you safe in your mind, believing that you've got it all together and everything's fine, everything's good. But your bigger story, your fuller picture, is a hell of a lot more complex than just what you identify with. And this is why you are pushing away these mirrors, arguing with them as if life is in the external, because you haven't learned your responsibility or the ability to see yourself in situations that challenge us emotionally. As I said, they're coming to us to remind us of parts of ourselves. So become aware of how you react to challenging situations, because your reactions are not who you are. They're what you learn to survive. And the amazing thing is you develop them, and you developed them as a kid. So if you imagine you are that clever as a child, what you can do as a conscious adult, but you have to be able to see your own personal matrix. Let's all take a deep breath. Beneath the surface of your automatic behavior and your coping, whatever it is, are sensations that are desperately uncomfortable to feel. I call them inner earthquakes for a reason. They shake you to the core because they have a message for you that you need to interpret, to intuit appropriately. But because we're not intuiting, because we're emotionally blocked, we're trying to manipulate external situations that never served us, that the body was telling us to leave in the first place, and we're living in perpetual movements away from ourselves and in suffering and confusion. If we can take the message from these unwanted situations in stillness as the observer, to welcome these unwanted triggers, to see what they're telling us, and to act appropriately on them, you're starting to develop emotional intelligence. You're starting to develop your emotional connection and, of course, intuition. Now, there's no rule book here because we all coped in different ways. That's why your awareness and your intuition will be your guides on your journey when you know, aha, I'm coping. That's not me. That's a reaction. That's something I've trained. Or after a situation, I could have done it like this. I could have done it like that. So why didn't you? So slowly, you start to become aware of your patterns. And your patterns, they kept you safe when you couldn't handle situations in any other way as a child. Now, these explosive or passive, depending on how you reacted to your environment, these reactions are what's fueling what you don't want in your life anymore. So to transcend them, heal them, transform them, you have to become super aware of your patterns and cease to act on them when the next time you're triggered. Might take 100 attempts. Self-love, patience. Give yourself the time to observe well enough your own patterns. Because sometimes we can see a pattern for 10 years and not change it. Because the wound beneath it is so deep, so real, so intense that we're not ready yet to face it. But you can't develop emotional intelligence until you can feel your unwanted emotions. And the unwanted emotions are tied to your unresolved traumas. These things will just keep playing out in your life. And they'll keep playing out until you're tired enough of them that you'll choose to face them. And by facing, I mean non-reactivity. Being brave enough to let your body shake you to the core, then hold those vibrations time and time again in stillness, in integration. Literally, you can't see my lower hand, putting a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart and closing your eyes and letting this vibration vibrate. And no, it doesn't feel comfortable because there's a message in that uncomfortable emotion. It's trying to tell you something that you're supposed to be acting on appropriately or accordingly. That as long as it's blocked, you're running away from your own messages, trying to manipulate an external reality that was never meant for you. Come home into stillness. Start to observe your holographic universe and intuit what it's trying to teach you. And you won't learn anything in reactivity. Yet you're so programmed to react that you won't even realize you're reacting. That's the very definition of identification. That's your ego story. That's your personal narrative, your identity. So going against all of that is the strongest psychedelic you'll ever take, because you're going against who you think you are. If you're a big macho man, to discover that there's sadness and sensitivity behind that anger and that rage, it's a shock to the ego. Doesn't mean you're not a big man. It just means you're also capable of deep sadness and grief. Sensitivity is defended by rage, just as much as anger is protected by niceness on the other side. They're different looking coping strategies to the same situations. When our anger wasn't safe, we became nice. When our sensitivity wasn't safe, we became angry. And we're all doing this on one level or another. So we can take the clues from our external world to welcome triggers, to welcome the reminders of these inner feelings. Then we can understand why these people are even in our lives. They're messengers to remind us of who we are. And nothing's going to change until you actually start to interpret accurately your mirrors, as cryptic as it can be at times, and bring it home. Look at yourself, look at yourself, look at yourself. As impossible as it may seem at times, believe me, I can be stubborn as a mule. There is a truth for you in it. And that truth is always uncomfortable. And emotional intelligence is about making friends with the uncomfortable and the unwanted emotions, and they tend to come to us in the unwanted experience. Unwanted experiences and unwanted emotions are your gateway to a higher consciousness. You can't go through life only enjoying what you want. Obviously, you're not going to choose unwanted experiences, but they're going to come to you. So when they come and they keep coming and they keep repeating, this is your doorway into emotional intelligence, because within that experience, you will be resisting emotions that you need to navigate your life. That's why the mirror is coming to you. So let's have a quick recap. We all get emotionally blocked through traumatic situations as children. We learn to cope, and we learn automatic behaviors that keep those blocks and these traumas hidden. In our lives as adults, mirrors come to us to remind us of these pains. So we have to learn how to interpret the mirror and cease reactivity to see what is hiding behind our behaviors that kept our blocks blocked and ourselves blind to the block. Because when we cease that behavior, you will start to feel your body, I guarantee you, and it won't be comfortable. When you feel these things, these vibrations, hold them as soon as you can. Be safe. Get somewhere where you can be alone and really start to make a relationship with this feeling. Ground it, welcome it, validate it. And slowly, you will be able to feel these strong inner earthquakes being triggered in life situations without the need to manipulate the external world, and to choose an autonomous, independent, observant-based response to a situation, which in many situations is to do nothing, which can be a major shock to many people. It's, I don't have to do anything. No, you don't. You think you have to control everything. You think you have to change everything, but that was always how you stayed safe. That was your strategy. Stillness as the observer in your awareness, with presence in the body, interpreting and intuiting and discerning what the body is communicating to you is emotional intelligence. And there's no quick way and there's no short way to get there. You can't study it. You can't watch this video and develop it, but you can take these tools into your life. And when unwanted situations come, say, this is an opportunity. Universe is bringing me this opportunity to see myself. So stop pushing everyone away, fighting, manipulating, gossiping. Do it at first if you need to, but then say, okay, I just did all that. Conscious unconsciousness, Go the wrong way the first time and do it consciously, and then bring it home. What can I learn from this? And slowly, 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 you will see patterns. And completely against who you think you are, you will see truths, emotions, feelings, and vibrations that belong to you as your guides, as your friends, as part of your intuition, that are here to help guide you through your life to your greatest version, the quickest possible way. So the sooner we welcome our mirrors, welcome our unwanted emotions, and integrate them into our personal narrative, the sooner we can evolve our lives into frequencies we could have never previously imagined. Once you developed your emotional intelligence, you'll be able to hold space authentically. You'll be able to relate to people authentically, because you won't be trying to stop or change their emotions or feelings in order to not feel it within yourself. You can allow people to express in all ways, because you've become familiar with these vibrations within yourself. They're not alien to you. Your ego isn't trying to push them away to maintain your identity. Your identity already includes them. So through emotional intelligence, you are able to hold space for angry people, sad people, depressed people, and in all sorts of situations. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel anything. You're feeling, you're empathizing. That's innate in all humans. But you are able to be there for that person as a pillar. You're able to relate to your partners, to your friends, to your family, to your colleagues, But at the same time, if it's not reciprocal and you're feeling as like a sponge to somebody's emotions after a while, then you have to make decisions in your life. You have to communicate boundaries, and you have to develop a situation in your life where it serves you to be that attuned to other people. And thank you so much for watching till the end. If you feel to subscribe, please go ahead and to share these videos with people you think that might benefit from them. And I really hope to see you in the next video shortly. Have an amazing week and Happy New Year.